tell us what you're doing here.
Well, we're doing very like neutral, like very earthy colors, very pastel colors. I think the inspiration was really based on the materials and the colors of the fabrics of the clothes. And that was the first thing that Marc was really focusing on, and he wanted that for me to be an inspiration for the makeup. So we're going through all the very pale gray, beige, camels, chocolates, really silky colors and very powdery colors. And then I found this look to really bring out just the eyes of the girls, which I think is the most, probably the biggest focus in the makeup are the eyes. Eyebrows are not very important, but they're really actually matching the color of the hair. We're like bleached them for the girls that have too dark eyebrows and toned them to the color of the wigs. So they're not like disappearing like when we did very bleach eyebrows and you don't see the eyebrows. We wanted the eyebrows to be there, but in a very soft and very matching, the hair. What else can I say? There's no mascara, so I kept the girls looking, with like little strand side, the makeup. So I wanted the girls to look almost like, those statues, the Greek statues that have no lashes at all. So the eyelid is very big as possible, by applying a very light color all over the eyelid, like a pale, neutral, gray, light gray. That makes the eyelid really big. And then by deepening the eye in the crease of the eye with like more like pale chocolate brown, and a little bit of slash of brown shadow also on the top along the top lashes. Just to extend also the eye and create the illusion that the eyelid is really big.
Now but
everything in a soft way, no matter what.
What are you doing on the lips?
And the lips are very neutral color, like a beigey, transparent beige, with a little touch of like frosted, metallic, silvery beige, to be exact.
Got it.
There's a combination, but also very soft and very neutral, in a neutral tone, but an interesting color that looks like a beigey with a little bit of shimmer in it. It is very matte finish, a lot of powder. A lot of translucent powder to give a very, almost like plaster in a way, but porcelain, like very matte, no glow.
Excellent.
Which I think will look very nice with the, on the runway with the clothes. They are very matte. All the materials of the clothes are, fabrics are very silky and matte, or wool. Everything is very matte in a way. There's no shine. So I think this will look very pretty, the very matte finish of everything.
Excellent.
I love Gadget as well, so I can really get him one of those. But anyway,
they're awesome. All right, so tell us what you're doing with the nails here at Marc Jacobs.
At Marc Jacobs, yeah. Well, we have 5 brand new colours that have been mixed very specifically by Marc for this show. And there are 5 tones of nude, because the whole show is very tonal. And it's all about a gorgeous collection of, and that's what they look like on the nail as well, that are now a bit scruffy, but I've been busy. So, I know, I look at it and think, oh God. So, yeah, what the girls need to look like is absolutely immaculate, very expensive mannequin, basically. So everything has always got to be hyper-real, hyper-perfect. And when you do see the finished look eventually, you'll see where it's all coming from. So we've all got these 5 colours, and so we're all, like hair, makeup and me, we're all following this number regime, because it is also completely tonal. And now, bearing in mind this is for all, I think it's great that Marc does, not what I say at all, I do what he says, but I have believed for a long time that there is, with nail stylish, not makeup or hair, but for nails there is no trend colour. The most important colour anyone can wear on their nails is the one that they actually love to look at every day, because they are looking at it every day, you know, with phones, with keyboards, with all of that. You're looking at the nail, you need to love it. And what this is doing, this is not only colours that so many people love, but it's also completely accessorising the total look. So it's got, I think nails have got a slightly different focus from the seasonal trend colours that you get in makeup. You need to love it, and it needs to accessorise what you're wearing. Absolutely, well, in this case, absolutely, completely accessorise what you're wearing. Which they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful, beautiful colours. And there's not one that I think anyone can not like. All the girls are all loving them. And we're doing a very specific shape. It's not very long, it's only just over the end of the finger, and it's not tapered, it's not almond, it's a perfect round. So it's a very, very natural, very immaculate, very understated shape. So there's no big bold shape, there's no big bold statement. It's perfectly toned together and understated and very, very expensive.
Perfect.
Last show.
Hey.
So we were inspired by tonality. So the whole kind of look at the show, from the hair to the thing, is like one kind of tone. So Marc got very into sort of like showing me pictures of tonality and makeup colours, and how like swatches of makeup kind of run from, but when you look at them in one run, it looks like one colour. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like makeup shades. We wanted to do shades of hair that you couldn't quite see what the colour was. Like, is it pink? Is it brown? Is it a blonde? And there's an old-fashioned technique. We bleach the wigs up, and then we're putting a rinse on them, so they have a tone, but they don't really pop like brown, blonde, you know, silvery white. So like they're kind of like more 50s, 60s colours, you know. So the whole thing at the end is like an illustration come to light, so everything matches. Yeah, that's the idea of it, and this very simple shape, which was kind of inspired by, like, we looked at Jessica Lange pictures, who Marc's very inspired by at the moment, Holly Mellon with that bob, and that very simple idea of American hair, you know. So it's kind of American hair, that kind of aesthetic about sort of perfection, but taken to because it's so perfect, it kind of looks very futuristic, which is this sort of great kind of like, there's no kind of era reference when you look at the girls, I don't think, right? It doesn't look, it looks eerie, but it's quite eerie as well. It's like kind of unsettling because it's kind of unemotional as well. Very graphic hair, the odd colour, the way Francois has done that very sort of chalky face, you know, and the thing. So there's not like, we looked at pictures, we looked at colour, makeups, we looked at nail colours, we looked at old photographs of different actresses, but Jessica Lange was someone who's talking now, was a big inspiration to Marc, and the sort of pictures in the 70s, and when you saw them sometimes, they were a tone from the hair, the clothes, the background, the makeup. So when you looked at it, it looked quite odd. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing like last time we worked in sort of the white and the black, you know, or the black, you know, or we've sort of seen very sort of graphic colours. These are very pulled back. They're almost like old lady colours. They're like rinses. They're like.
And are they a little dull? I know you said they don't pop.
Yeah, the idea is not for them to be like electric looking.
So they're very dull finish almost?
Well, they're basically, Victoria at Whitmore House, who did all the wigs, God bless her, they're high lift wigs and then sort of toned down, I say, to odd shades, and Marc worked very closely with her, toning everything out. Do you know what I mean? So there's 5 different tones. They're almost like, do you remember those watercolours that old ladies used to put those rinses into hair? They're like watercolours into grey hair. So you'd get like those purples and odd brown like pink or purple. So those are the colours. And then this very graphic shape, the headband matching the hair in a funny kind of way. It's almost like a painting or an illustration.
So now are we still going into like another season? It's like more solids, like sort of like it's not like layered or highlighted, more like solid color, solid cut. Like, like
well, I mean, it's funny how last season we did those choppy kind of very personal haircuts, and it felt really right. And now this, to me, feels like really new for me to look at. What excites me when I do something new is it excites me. I'm like, I'm not quite sure. Is that like, what is that giving me? And it sort of makes me question the sort of, when I know it so well, like last season, it was like new to me. That this feels very new. It feels like a very new way to see hair, which is really exciting.
Are you using any products at all?
Yeah, I am. I'm using, because we had to had to blow dry them all after they were dyed, and then we pre-cut them, and then as you see, we're cutting them all on the girls now. But they've been blow dried with satin wear, which is a blow dry lotion to get it very silky. And then we ironed it with iron silk, which is a heat styling spray, which kind of protects hair. And then we've been cleaning up with hairspray. So yeah, because there is a perfection to it. I mean, the girls are going to be charging, so their hair will move. It's not meant to be like static there, but the perfection of it is something that Marc loved too.
Wait, is it shorter in the back and longer towards the front?
Should be just very kind of graphic and simple. Why did you see one like that?
No, they look perfect.
Good answer.
Like name the 5 colors.
How do we? I mean, they're almost like, you can't sort of name them because they're sort of like, they're like off colours, like an anthracite or a kind of, like a silver, like a silvery brown, but it's brown, but I didn't want it to be a solid brown, like you go, oh, that's brown hair, that's blonde hair. If you look at them, they're all together, they look like they sort of merge, but they're not the same. So I wouldn't know what to name them, but maybe Victoria will be able to tell you some good names.
Did Marc assign them per girl, per outfit, or based on their coloring, all of those things?
Nothing there is like, Marc had 2 hairdressers from my team with him, and each look is styled with the hair, with the thing, so he gets a complete, tonality with his, when he's, styling, putting the clothes on the girls, Oh yeah, so it's not, I'm not deciding.
The headbands, those.
And he's decided on the headbands too.
Are they different colors? Those are staying. Are they different colors?
Yeah, from browns to beiges. Like a palette of like, like ultimate 2 colours in the 70s. They were like from brown to sort of a beige, naked, that's it. Oh, 80s, all right. But some of the pictures were the 70s, but we were looking at those 80s kind of colours kind of thing, and makeup, and that thing that you quite right, saying nudes, but yeah, the spectrum, and it was a very American aesthetic, that America took on, that everything was kind of beige. Do you remember that kind of, was it 80s, late 70s, Holston, that kind of, don't quote me on that designer, but like that period of time where they would do like a total look in normally beige, do you know what I mean? And then you look at some sort of covers of magazines and they're all tonality, do you know what I mean? That was like a look for a while, do you know what I mean? So the nails would be beige, and then talking about makeup, and the hair might not be beige, but it might be honey, so everything was toned. So I mean, we took it from this as well. We were looking at Marc's nail polish shades as well, so we'd line them up and see all those great colours, So it was all about getting sort of off tones, like those colours in Marc's range, kind of slightly off. They're not like, is that a real grey or is that a like, that's what he wanted to see in the hair.
And are there 5 hair colors as well?
5 hair colours, yeah. So there's from brown to sort of, I mean, in a very basic way, there's brown to sort of like blondes, but they're not those colours. So I would hate you to say they're black, brown. They're like washed out minky brown to sort of like minky blonde. You know what I mean? With like silver, a reddish shade in the middle. You know what I mean? Well, you can see when you go around. It's like, you see that girl standing up there now? It's like, what colour's her hair? I don't know. It's sort of like off. It's odd. It's almost like something you see in a painting or something.